Hello, everybody. My name is Brian Bouteller, and this is the inaugural issue of the Gospel Rescue Mission podcast. Today, what we're going to cover is the question that often comes up: why do I have to wait for 30 days in order to look for work when I come live at the Gospel Rescue Mission? Okay, so before we get started, one thing I wanted to do as kind of a disclaimer was to just note that everything that I say following may sound a little snarky and or condescending, and it's not intended to be so. I just kind of, when I talk about it, I've gone over it so many times and talked it with so many people that sometimes describing the conversation that I might have ends up being maybe a little more just condescending sounding than I intend. And in general, I don't find myself being that way with somebody in person. So it's all meant in good humor and in good fun. So work search policy, it is probably in the top 5 biggest questions when I say, does anybody have any questions about the policies at the Gospel Rescue Mission or any comments about things that you like, things that you don't like? Almost always 1 to 5 hands go up, and of those questions, almost always one of them is, how come I gotta wait 30 days to find a job? How come I gotta wait for so long? And they're so upset, and they're telling themselves a story that's usually something totally wrong because they don't know the answer to the question, so they just make up an answer, and it's usually very wrong and heartbreaking to hear. And in the end, when you explain it to them, they kind of go, "Oh, okay, don't like it, but all right." And I hope that this kind of becomes that. So the objections to the 30-day policy. First of all, having somebody wait for 30 days to go look for work. We're looking for, at the Gospel Rescue Mission, kind of a bigger question of why are you here? What has happened in your life that you're at a place where you are homeless and you need to have somebody, a charitable organization, put you up for free, at no expense to you anyways, to stay there. And those questions usually can't be answered in an hour-long interview. They can't be answered in a short Q&A. Really, it just takes time to see. So one of the first questions when somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, okay, I know you guys have this 30-day work policy, but I need a job. I'm not like all these other guys here. I just need a job." I always go, first of all, I don't know what you think about all these other guys, but they're probably not as bad as you imagine. Second of all, I just go, "Well, have you ever had a job before?" And they go, yeah, and they'll go down a list of all the things that they've done before. Well, I've been a construction worker, I've worked at gas stations, I've managed restaurants, I've done all these things, and I don't even, my job isn't even to tell them, I don't believe anything that you said. I don't know you well enough to believe or not believe them. Usually they sound pretty impressive, and I just go, great, okay, well, let me make some connections for you didn't maybe connect before. And that would be something like, well, you've had a job before, and having that job didn't prevent you from getting here. So how did you get here if you had a job before, and if the job was the solution, then why did you end up here? And at that point they go, oh yeah, well, no, it wasn't because of that. It's because, well, I lost my job because I was losing my marriage, and I couldn't deal with the stress of that, so I started drinking real heavy, and my drinking real heavy and losing my marriage is why I lost my, and that's all led to me being here. Or, I was in a car accident and, broke my legs and couldn't keep my job and my bills got ahead of me and and then I couldn't manage my money and find my way out. And so I ended up here and everything. And then I go, well, right. So what you're telling me is that there's more to your being here than just employment or lack of employment. And we really need to understand and explore those things so that we can help you find yourself in the right track. Now, sometimes it's just as often that that the person challenging me on the 30-day, why do I got to wait for 30 days? That they're also telling me this while they're, wearing shorts and a Budweiser t-shirt, and they've got big gauges in their ears, and they've got, green hair, and they're unshaven, and even some of the guys are that way too. And so, when you're looking at them and you're going, man, maybe, you'll ask them, well, have you been looking for work? And they'll say, oh yeah, I've been looking for, like, what were you doing before you came here? Oh, I was looking for work. Well, for how long? Well, for 3 years I've been looking for work. Okay, then I'd just go, you're probably going about it wrong. If in 3 years you haven't found work, we're probably going about it all wrong. And again, what I want to be able to address, what I want our staff to be able to address with each resident is those other things that take time for us to learn about a person as they're coming in. They're going to take time. I'm going to need to see you get up at 5:30 in the morning and interact with people that you don't know all day long and be managed by somebody else. I need to find out, do you get along well with other people? Are you punctual? Do you manage your time well in just your day-to-day routines? Are you on your phone all dang day, and rather than working? These things may explain, why haven't you found a job yet? And so I can look at these things. I can look into these things with each person over the course of 30 days, watching them work. I learn more about them, and I can address them. We can, as a staff, address them with that person and make that job search more effective when they are ready to look for work. Sometimes they have a series of tasks that would be helpful for them to get done before they go looking for work. So you'll find out somebody's been looking for work maybe for a few weeks, and then you ask them, well, do you have a Social Security card or a driver's license or a state ID or something like that? And they'll go, well, no. And you going, well, don't you know that you're going to need some way of, how are they going to figure out where to send your check to or how to tax you on all this? And they'll go, oh, well, I know my Social Security number. Okay, right, but they're going to need a copy of an ID of some kind. They're going to need to get something from you. And so having that 30 days allows us to just really ensure that when the person goes out and is looking for work, they're really prepared. Another thing might be that they come in, they've been living on the streets for a little bit. They want to go out and they want to look for work, but they don't have the proverbial pot to piss in, kind of. So scratch that from the tape. He said piss. They said pot, and we know that pot is of the devil. So anyways, they don't have these things, and so you look at them and go, well, how are you going to go interview? And they're there in jeans and, maybe even an okay shirt, but it's the one they've been sleeping in the bushes in for a long time. It's thrashed. So it's just going to take us some time to help them acquire some clothing, for proper interview clothes, and get them in front of a barber who can cut their hair and get them trimmed up and ready to go, and just do the things that are necessary so that when they make that time to go out and interview, when they make that time to go out and make that first impression, they're really ready for it. And so our goal is that everybody who's been here 30 days or more, that they're always ready during their workday for an interview. So from 8 to 5, they need to be prepared to get called into an interview at any point in time. So when you see them walking around the mission or, doing some kind of a chore or task for the mission, they should still be dressed appropriately so that if their day got interrupted and someone said, hey, you just got an interview, call for an interview at, so-and-so place, they don't have to go, okay, I can be there in 2 hours. Let me go, shower and shave and change my clothes and everything like that. No, they can just go, great, drop me off there. I'll go and do the interview. I'm ready to go. And so, again, being prepared, always being ready, so that when opportunity knocks, you don't have to prepare because there's no time to prepare when opportunity knocks. So Again, that's kind of the logic behind why do we have somebody wait for 30 days. There's probably a half dozen other fantastic reasons that I just have yet to pull off the top of my head while I've got a microphone in front of me, but or haven't invented on the spot yet. But those are pretty powerful reasons for why somebody should wait for 30 days. And I think that it's been effective for us. Since we've had people wait for 30 days, what we found is, by golly, people get hired here. People get jobs while they're here. And that's exciting for us. That's what we want to see, is people being changed to a place where they go from dependence to independence. That's what we're looking for.